Hey, welcome back. We have Ashley Berges with us this morning. We're talking about the stresses of the holidays. There are 6 shopping days left, and so let's start there with shopping and the budgets and the financial stress. How big a deal is this for the people you deal with?
It's actually a huge deal. Honestly, people are really stressed. About 40% of all Americans are stressed about their finances this holiday season.
What are the best ways to get around it? What are some of those tips that you've found to be really effective?
Well, first of all, I think being honest with yourself and creating an honest budget. So that is like being able to talk to your family honestly and coming up with a number that you can spend. And then writing a list of people that you need to buy gifts for. And then maybe underneath the amount of money that you can actually spend on your list, write a mantra. And a mantra might be called an affirmation for some. And it could be that this January coming up is going to be a great January because I'm going to know what to expect. The credit card bills aren't going to throw me. I'm going to be happy and create a good 2012.
We were just having this conversation with some friends over the weekend, kind of like, why do we do this to ourselves every year? I mean, and not just on the budget side, but just the busyness of everything that's going on. You know, I think you go into the season and you go, this year we're going to simplify, we're going to make it easier, and then somehow we all seem to wind up at this point, you know, a week out now before Christmas, where it's just as hard as and as crazy as it was the year before. Why is it that that keeps happening to so many of us?
That's a good question. Well, you know, if budgeting was easy, everybody could do it, and it's not. So I think it's created because we all have stress and pressure from, you know, messages and advertising. You look on TV and there's ads about luxury vehicles that are for sale, and then you see every woman's getting a diamond bracelet or a diamond necklace, and everybody seems to think, well, I got to go out and buy that. And that's just not true. It's really not happening. So I think it's just this overpowering of momentum of advertising and messages that people feel, as well as possibly guilt. Because sometimes when people don't spend a lot of time with each other over the year, they want to make up for that with a high price tag of a gift, which is really not the way that you can make up for it. It's really spending time with that person.
I think we probably all have that person in our lives. No matter how hard we try to deal with the budget, we have that person who loves to give gifts, and maybe it's all coming from the right place, but they blow the budget. And they make you feel bad. How do you deal with those people so maybe you don't have that guilty feeling?
Because then it gets into a competition, right, where it's just you're trying to one-up the other person.
I've had that happen before personally. I remember one time getting a gift for a friend, and she showed up with a box from Tiffany's, and I had something from Macy's, and I was like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do about that? And it's a little overwhelming. You have to be honest with people, and I think you have to just honestly talk to them. Either if you don't feel like you can do it on the phone because maybe you're kind of a little scared or stressed about that, maybe actually emailing them and telling them honestly, hey, I'm on a budget this year, and maybe you and I can work out a system where we, you know, spend about the same amount of money and give a gift that's, you know, priced about the same. And I think it makes everybody feel better, and also it takes away this contest because it is a competition. And, you know, these holidays aren't really about competition. It's supposed to be about love and family and friends and having a good time.
You mentioned email, too, earlier as kind of a way that people can deal with some of the family issues that come up, because there's a lot of that this time of year, too. Even just the decision about how are we doing gifts this year? Are we going to pull a name from a hat? Is everybody buying for everybody else? And sometimes that gets a little sensitive because people have different opinions.
Yes, it does. And that's, you know, a lot of people deal with it with a white elephant gift. And some people do a Secret Santa, so you can actually draw one name and one person, so you buy one gift for that one individual instead of buying gifts for the entire family. And I think that also makes it kind of fun, too, as well as the white elephant. A lot of people do that. They have a lot of fun with it, and you can make it like a real family fun, you know, and so it's hours of fun and laughs and just having a good time with the family instead of just giving gifts out.
We do that every year in our family, and it is, we've found more fun than just the exchanging of one gift, because when you draw names, you know, there's always that call from someone's spouse or someone, do you have any ideas for this person? And then they know what they're going to get and all that stuff. Switching gears, let's talk about the blues. Is that a real phenomenon? I mean, I've never experienced it, but I hear people talk about they get kind of depressed this time of year.
It's very true, actually. I have a lot of clients that are going through that. It's called seasonal depression, and a lot of times that comes because the daylight has changed. So when you're leaving work and it's it's already so dark, it's only 5 o'clock at night, it kind of becomes depressing, as well as when you leave in the morning and it's dark to leave before you leave the house. And so a lot of times people deal with that, especially around this season. The best thing to deal with that, honestly, is to get some sunlight, to go and spend time with friends. You know, some people use light therapy. And others just need to spend more time with friends and interaction, because sometimes it makes you almost go into a cocoon or a stressed out situation where you feel like you don't have anybody, when in actuality you do. And if you just look in the phone, pick up your Rolodex and call somebody, it might actually help you.
Okay.
So simplify. That's the key, right?
Definitely.
Okay.
Being honest and simplifying everything makes it so much easier.
And you said your clients don't overwhelm you with calls because you prepare them ahead of time at this time of year, right?
Thank goodness, yes.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like you get to a certain point and you realize we all have an issue that we deal with. And so in certain situations, I know how to deal with clients, and we have everything set up so that they're not waiting, and they actually have someone to talk to, and then get through the season, especially with the seasonal disorder and what have you.
Yeah.
Ashley Berges, life coach extraordinaire. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays to you,
And y'all have a great Christmas.
we will be right back.